Hello friends, this week we are going to be meeting with Mark and Ina from Core Bookkeeping to talk about numbers! Hi guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for
It's our
having
pleasure.
us.
So last week I went to a conference and one of the speakers, I'm reading his bio and it says he is not only a CPA, but he's also a lawyer. Everybody was like, snooze fast, but he got up on the stage and he slapped his butt and he said, we are gonna have butt slapping fun. And it was fun, he was great. So numbers don't have to suck. And you're in for a great ride because Mark and Ina are fantastic. Mark and Ina are with Core Bookkeeping Solutions and they're here to empower small law firms to make financial decisions based on numbers, not their guts. Hi, I'm Emily LaRouche. Are you ready to make the journey from lawyer to entrepreneur? Every week I'm sitting down with people who have mastered the art of running a business and want to share with you the lessons they've learned along the way. Join me as we experience the highs, the lows, and everything in between as we learn, share, and grow together. Welcome to Share the Love. So I feel like most people, they either love the legal field or it's the butt of a joke. And I've met a lot of people who are like, oh, lawyers, why do you want to focus on lawyers? Why do you guys want to focus on lawyers?
Well, we love small businesses. We love to see people succeed. With lawyers, they have very specific accounting because they need to keep two sets of books for their clients, which is IOLTA and trust accounting, versus their business accounting. This separates them from other business owners in the fact that they are usually focusing on one or the other, not both.
Got it. So is there ever a point in the business where you guys were like, you know, let's just solely focus on attorneys? Did you get people asking you to do stuff from other industries?
Yeah, so we work with customers in several industries. However, our primary focus is attorneys. Like Ina said, we're able to provide a lot of value and really help them be successful. As of about a year and a half ago, we've been focusing our marketing solely on attorneys. And it's really, we love working with them because, as most attorneys know, running a business isn't necessarily their strong suit, so we're able to really help out. But on top of that, it's something that we're able to really provide a lot of value and we're able to help the customers we work with succeed.
Awesome. So I hate doing bookkeeping and I totally believe in swallowing that frog and doing the thing that you don't want to do, which is why my books are always up to date. Nice. Because I hate it. So do it and swallow the frog and get it over with. But do you guys have clients who haven't touched their books in maybe months or even all year?
Well, funny you should ask because this is the time of the year where we are bombarded by people contacting us because their books haven't been done for the whole year. And suddenly we're at the end of the year, books need to be ready for tax purposes and everything, and they finally remember, oh, I hate doing books, I've been procrastinating, but this is the time. So a lot of that is what we do.
Fortunately for them, it's not too late and we're able to help. Although, you know, the farther they are behind, the harder it is to catch up and the more time it takes. So if they're looking to get their taxes done on time, now is really a great time to get started and not wait too much longer.
Right. So we're already into October. So what are a few things that everyone needs to be doing to wrap up the year end?
Well, to start with, they need to have their books up to date. This is primary and biggest thing that they need to do. Also, working with lawyers, a lot of them outsource their services, such as investigators, servers. They need to make sure they have their current information on file, they have their filled out W-9s, so they're ready to go with the 99s when they're supposed to be. And this year, or last year, they changed it that they had to be done by January 31st.
And they increased the penalties.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think there's something like $250 penalty for those that are incorrect. So if they don't have their correct address, there's the penalty. You know, if they have their books in order, they need to make their investments this year. If they need to have new computers, new furniture, it's a good time to do it now because they can minimize their tax liability.
And I like that you talked about the investments. I used to work at a really large law firm and almost frantically the firm administrator would come running around screaming to everyone towards the end of the year, get your billable hours in, everyone, all billable hours. And then we would know that means bonuses are coming. And for them, so are you saying, you know, if you've got a whole bunch of extra cash, now's the time to start spending some money?
Well, you know, you pay taxes based on your net income. So it's one of those things where if you have to buy a new computer, or you're looking to upgrade some of your furniture, or other business-related expenses, if you know you have the capacity now, it might be a good idea to start buying some of those things so you minimize your tax liability and you can start the next year off on the right foot.
Awesome. So if you've got some extra cash flowing around and you want to, maybe a good idea would be to reach out to your vendors and prepay, get some of that cash unloaded, because I've heard don't go buy a car just because you're going to get a write-off. That's a stupid reason to buy a car, but maybe something you're already spending money on, like your bookkeeping services, your receptionist, whatever it may be, contact your vendors, maybe even negotiate a discount for a prepay, right? I've had a few clients ask me that, and that's why it came up. And I'm thinking, must be nice to have all that dough to just, let me spend a few grand real quick.
And of course, they're not going to know if they have extra dough if their books are not current and in order.
So first get the books done. Then if you find yourself having a huge tax liability that you did not plan for, maybe spend a little on something you're already going to be buying, not a new Bentley.
Right. Something that you need. You don't want to go on a shopping spree just to spend the money, because it still has to be compliant with business expenses.
Got it. Or like the firm that I worked for did, get your hours in, and everyone got a bonus. That was so great. I love that. What 2 to 3 things should all firms be doing before the end of the year to get their books in order?
So first and foremost, your books have to be done. So if you haven't been caught up to date, now is a good time to get started.
Okay.
And that's both sets of books, the trust accounting and the business accounting. And then it's important to get all the current and accurate information for the contractors, and lawyers tend to use a lot more contractors than other people for their outsourced services.
Everything from private investigators to process servers to their accountant or bookkeeper, things like that.
All right, so that's the 1099s?
That's in preparation for 1099s. The form that they need to have on file, current and filled out, is the W-9.
W-9.
Right.
So start getting your W-9s together.
And even if they have the W-9, this is the time that they need to check with their independent contractors if that information is still accurate. People often move, they change their address at the post office, they forget to inform everybody else that they're at a different address, and the form will be sent and lost, and that's an issue.
Yeah, and really, Emily, if they find that this is something they're struggling with this year, the best practice in the future is to get those W-9s as soon as they start working with the contractors from the beginning, and then make it explicitly clear with them to update the attorney if they've moved.
Okay.
Or if any of their information has changed, so that they don't run into the same problems next year.
Okay.
And the third prudent thing to do at this time is to go ahead and buy anything that you need for your office, or any extra things that you were thinking of buying. This is the time to do it. Spend the money to minimize the tax liability.
Got it. So let me ask you about the W-9s. I have some clients, every year they want a new W-9, and I'm always thinking, I already gave you one last year. Why do you need another one? Do we need to get a new one every year?
Yeah, it's a prudent and it's a required thing to do, that you get a W-9 for each one of your independent contractors every year. That makes it current, that makes it accurate, and even if it wasn't required, I always suggest that it's done, because it keeps everything in order. Awesome. So every year is a good idea to do that.
Awesome. If you find numbers so boring and so awful that you don't even want to think about them, call these guys. That's what I do. I can't stand numbers. Get someone who loves it, because these guys geek out on it all day long.
Well, and not only do we like it, what we're really passionate about is helping businesses be successful. So as a business owner, your day is super busy, and the last thing you want to do when you get home in the evening or on the weekends is do your books. And that's assuming you feel comfortable doing it. If you're someone that doesn't, and maybe it's not your business strength, we're not only able to make sure that you're in compliance, but also that you have the insight you need to make good business decisions.
Awesome. Attorneys have specialized rules around their accounting system. So if I were a law firm, for me personally, I always like to buy services that are provided by companies who only serve my industry or what I'm looking for. So it makes sense to me to go to a bookkeeper, an expert on a law firm. But if they maybe are going to just any old bookkeeper, what are some things that we can all do to find out if this accounting professional is the right fit for us?
So as Ina mentioned, attorneys not only have the general business accounting that every business owner has, but they essentially have a second set of books, which is their client trust accounts. So there might be a lot of bookkeepers out there who are familiar with doing business accounting, which is the bread and butter of a bookkeeper's job, but there are specific requirements, and they vary state to state. We work almost exclusively with attorneys in Arizona, so we're very familiar with the IOLTA and client trust account regulations for them. But it's important to find someone who is familiar with that. And it's one of those things where, I would ask some questions and ask if they have other attorney customers and maybe ask them some questions to gauge their knowledge of client trust accounts. And that's really a great place to start, and that's something that's very important.
And I think that any business needs to make sure to hire good qualified professionals. I mean, even if you hire a pool care person, you don't want to see your pool green a month from after they started working with you. So asking questions which will qualify them as professionals, skillful, knowing the trust accounting, maybe an additional program that the lawyer is using, because a lot of lawyers use a separate program for their time tracking and for their trust accounting. That's essential. It's just so easy to make a mess if someone doesn't know what they're doing.
And I think one other fact to really illustrate how important it is, as of in 2016, what we were told is that the number 2 reason attorneys were sanctioned in Arizona was for mismanagement of their client trust accounts.
Wow. And that should be something really easy to stay on top of.
It's something that's easy if you have a strong foundation set, but even if you have a good process in place, which is critical, obviously, you need to make sure that you have someone, whether it's internal or someone you outsource to, managing that regularly. In Arizona, at least, the regulation is that you need to be up to date with your reconciliations every month.
Yeah. Not fun.
Yeah.
So I have a question that I don't have prepared for you guys.
Right.
So shocker. Okay, so I see a lot of people are moving to the cloud. Are you finding people moving either off of QuickBooks Desktop and into the cloud, or onto different new products that are entering the market?
So we were selected as one of the finalists as Firm of the Future by Intuit. We only accept clients who are in the cloud. This is where everything is moving to. It's much easier for integrating our services with what their office is doing. There are a lot of apps that make their job and our job much easier, so we're all for it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and not to mention, it might not be the right fit for everyone. We believe that for the majority of small businesses, moving to the cloud and utilizing the latest and greatest technology is oftentimes better for them across the board. It might not be the right fit for everyone. It might not be the right fit for us also, but we find that the attorneys that we work with, if they're willing to embrace cloud-based bookkeeping, they also look to cloud-based practice management software. So for example, Clio or ProLaw or MyCase. And so these are the sort of tools that make running a business efficient, whether you're at your desk or whether you're leaving courtroom or whether you're in your car and about to head to your next appointment. You're able to get an overview and make business decisions from wherever you are, utilizing your smartphone or tablet or laptop.
Awesome.
And security being an issue, we'd rather have someone like Intuit or Clio take care of it with like 5-step redundancies than having it on the desktop and like a server in the back of their office.
And anyone can access
Yeah.
it. So
well, anyone, but yeah, it's
I
not
went
as safe.
to my chiropractor yesterday, and he told me, basically, hell no, I won't go. He's not going to the cloud. So what he said is, this program I use won't even run anymore on a modern computer. So he had to have a virtual image taken of a really ancient computer because it's the only dinosaur that'll run the program. Yeah. And he's like the last holdout to go to the cloud, and it cracks me up.
Yeah.
And we meet people like that occasionally. We stay away from those, but yeah.
Exactly. Look, I'm sure your chiropractor is a great chiropractor, but we believe that in running a business in 2017, you need to be willing to move forward and at least explore new technologies that make running your business better, because your competitors are using those technologies. So, whether you're using QuickBooks Online or Xero, or there's a multitude of other softwares that are, not necessarily industry leaders, there's great options out there. And yeah, I mean, it's a transition. So if you're not willing to make that change, it might not be for you, but it's
the
something
cloud
we
is here to
recommend.
stay. Is
That's
that what
right.
you're saying?
We work, by the way, with all the accounting programs and legal programs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if it's been a while since you've swallowed that frog and reconciled your books, or you're not sure they're up to date, reach out to Mark and Ina. They are offering a financial health assessment when you mention our podcast. It's usually a $250 value, but Core Bookkeeping Solutions is offering it to our viewers for free. So take advantage of that. And you can find Mark or Ina by calling them at the phone number below, or emailing them at the email below, or visit them online at the website below.
Yeah, and we have a ton of information on our website, so it's a great starting point. And if you prefer not to make the plunge and give us a call or send us an email, there's a contact form on the site as well.
Yeah. Awesome. I have a couple rapid fire questions for each of you, and then we will be done. So, Mark, Last movie you saw in the theater?
I saw the new Kingsman movie. I give it 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Wow.
I know it wasn't as fun as the first one, but it was entertaining, I guess.
All right. Favorite game for game night?
Call me old-fashioned, but Settlers.
I don't know
Of
that
Catan.
one.
Emily.
I don't know
Emily.
that one.
My gosh. Okay. I think I know I need to get you for your next,
Yeah, okay.
holiday present.
What is the best part of your job?
My job.
Yes.
The best part of my job is seeing customers that came to us frustrated or disgruntled or out of compliance and being able to work with them to help them turn that around. And, you know, when we get a compliment from a customer that says, this is the first time I slept well at night, or the first time I didn't have to worry about my books, or I'm so glad I had this insight so I could make a better business decision, that's what really keeps me going, and it's really the best.
Awesome.
Basically, bookkeeping is what we do, providing business owners with financial information to make good business decisions is our passion.
So numbers is exciting to you guys when it's not to the rest of the world.
Oh, is there anything else better than that?
I know. So Mark, what's your favorite place you visited?
Favorite place I visited? I visited a lot of great places. Recently went on vacation to Banff in Canada. It's in mostly in Alberta, but it's in the Canadian Rockies, and it was just spectacularly beautiful.
Awesome.
And it was really amazing.
I'll have to check it out. Never been there.
Oh, it was a great family vacation. You
Nice.
should try it.
Ina, you're next. Are you
Okay,
ready? Okay. These are going to be tough.
Uh-oh,
Chocolate or vanilla?
chocolate.
Of course. Thank you. My
Yeah.
kind of girl.
But like bittersweet.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
That's what Ina likes.
It's chocolate and bittersweet at that. You know.
All right. What advice would you give your younger self just starting out?
What I would give myself, as I would give everybody else, don't pursue what you're passionate about. Be passionate about what you do.
Ooh, that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
That was good, Ina. All right. What is one thing you want attorneys to take away from today and go do right now?
What I want attorneys to know is that you don't need to do this by yourself. You're an attorney, hire someone who knows bookkeeping.
Amen, sister. I love outsourcing. And for you, Ina, most interesting place you've ever been in? I know you've been all over the world.
So it's hard for me to choose. I gauge my vacations by how busy or relaxed I want to be. And I love cruises. You have everything taken care of for you, and I try to take
no cell phone signal.
No cell
I
phone.
know.
That's what my husband likes, because that forces me to stay away from work. But
Yes, that's amazing. I went on a Disney cruise with my kids, and I cried when I had to leave because they were so small that I would be holding them at dinner. They'd be sleeping on me, and I couldn't even eat. They cut my food and fed me. I cried when I had to leave that. It was
Wow.
amazing. 2 thumbs up to Disney, so we should all cruise sometime.
Well, there's advertisement now for adult cruises on Disney.
Oh,
so I'm
yes.
thinking of trying that.
Lose the kids.
Yeah.
Ditch
I'm
those
kid at
losers.
heart, so maybe it will be good for me.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's
Sure.
been amazing.
Our pleasure.
And you guys are my favorite bookkeepers. Thank
Thanks
you so
for
much.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Share the Love. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, share, and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play to get the latest content.